And so some of the other tools I want to look at, because paperwork for me is a real problem. I really detest paperwork, frankly, and I know a lot of people do. So what we're doing at Medesk is trying to make it as simple as possible and straightforward as possible to produce professional documents without actually having to really do very much. So we do most of the legwork for you automatically. It's not like we do it ourselves, it's automatic. So our platform understands where to put the patient name, where to put their details, what their date of birth is, what drugs they're on, who you are if you're signed in, for example, and make sure that, you can put your signature in the right place and not someone else's, and vice versa. Lots and lots of stuff we can do. So what I'd like to know before I do proceed through a few examples of some ideas we've got, all taken from live usage, actually, just rebranded with us to protect privacy. So I'd like to know from all of you in the audience, especially the shy ones, when you're making your documents and prescriptions and so on, to what extent are you able to pretty much get a prescription just done there and then all you have to do is more or less just sign it? Do you have any ways of making it quicker for yourself? Yeah, so Gina says she works in the field of ADHD and all controlled prescriptions need to be written by hand. Yes, so yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And funnily enough, I was actually looking at some of the regulations to do with controlled drugs today, and we are looking at ways of trying to get that to be at least a little bit more automated. So it's kind of a watch this space kind of situation there. So we are hoping to at least get some degree of the content of the prescription to be printing over the top of the pink slip, for example, so that you don't have to do you only have to do the bare minimum by hand then. So that's what I'm looking into as an active project of mine, actually. So Gina, you may certainly want to hear more about that in the next couple of weeks. If anyone else does want to contribute, please do. Don't be shy. If not, fine, but I do like to get a dialogue going if I can. So yeah, some of the things that we do in Medesk in terms of automating paperwork. So I mostly focus on all the basic things that you're doing, tens of times a day, if not hundreds in some cases. So things like prescriptions, referral letters, letters back to the GP, fitness for work certificates, COVID certificates, all these kinds of things that you're now doing. So with Medesk, what we do with prescriptions is we format the whole layout of the document for you, put your name, put your GMC, put your electronic signature, everything in the right place. And then what we do is all we leave to you is what the drug should actually be. So we give you the BNF database built straight into the system. So all you got to do is search for the drug you need with a couple of letters. You don't even need to type the whole thing. You can see I've just tried to prescribe a beta blocker on the left here. So I didn't even bother to write atenolol in full, still found it, and then went ahead and prescribed 100 milligrams. And you can see straight away that you can actually go to the NICE website and examine the BNF straight from there once you've got a drug, just to check anything like contraindications and so on, just to be careful. And so, yeah, all you have to do, type that in, choose your drug regimen, and off you go. That's your prescription done, literally there and then. So if you know exactly what you're going to prescribe, it takes probably about 20 seconds to format that prescription and get it started to print. And so some of the automated letters I mentioned that we do, we're by no means limited to this, by the way. These are just 4 examples that I put together. I've got images of only 3 of these today, just because there's no point showing you hundreds and hundreds of different letters. They're all obviously broadly similar in the sense that a letter's a letter. So you can have referral letters that go out to a consultant in a hospital, for example, or one of your colleagues maybe in an associated clinic, for example. So all you've got to do really is choose the professional out of a list that you're going to send to, and then write the message body. And what we tend to do as well is, because a lot of these things are very, very straightforward, very standardized kind of messages and letters to the consultants, we do actually template those in advance. So you can pretty much say, please see this very pleasant gentleman, blah, 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 and then send it out there and then. So it's very straightforward. Same with GP letters. And what we're actually working on at the moment is a way for you to actually search for the GP, search for the surgery from a list. Just use the postcode or whatever you want to do to search for it. Click on it, and then you've got your addressee there straight away. Rest of it works exactly the same. Just type in your message body based on some previous template if you want it to, and everything goes straight in, as you can see. Takes, again, a matter of minutes, really. Just depends on how you want to do it. In terms of COVID certificates, of course, Medesk is integrated with TDL labs, and we are working on a few other integrations with other labs as well as secondary options. And so what you can do essentially is that when your results come back, they go straight through to the patient record, and from there you can generate a letter more or less immediately. So you can get that letter out, you can get a certificate done, and the patient can, fly if they have to fly, travel, work, whatever it is they need to do. And all that happens in minutes. And again, Fitness for Work is just another example. I haven't included it here because it's practically that, it's just a letter, isn't it, really? But it does include all of the main components that you'd need to indicate to the employer, when the person should be seen next, why they shouldn't be in work, or if they should be in work, and what you think should happen. So in terms of phased return, lighter duties, and all that sort of thing. So we pretty much use a button-based approach for that. So a couple of clicks and you're done.